Hello, and welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of August 14th. The summer's coming to its end, you guys. Have fun. Have lots of fun. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Previously on this podcast, we chatted about what parents were talking, complaining, and obsessing about each week, and we brought you short daily episodes. But these days, we bring you a weekly episode to talk about parenting in a more roundabout way. That's how we're having our fun this summer, right, Catherine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what is new with you this week? Days are slowly creeping towards the college send-off. When does he go?
He goes in about 2 weeks.
Oh.
So, it's coming up.
So, are you just packing in loads of family time?
Well, I don't know. He's sleeping right now.
Yeah. That'll be a nice memory. Remember when he used to just sleep all day right here in my house? And now he's sleeping all day in a dorm room.
Somewhere else. Exactly. Yeah, he did his theater workshop that he's been doing for years and years. And this was his last one. Wow. So that was fun to see. And, of course, instead of like, hey, let's go out to dinner as a family afterward, because it was early afternoon, or it was early, it was done at 5:30.
Right.
We all got there in separate cars and we all left in separate cars because my husband and I were both coming from work and my son had driven himself there. And so my son was like, well, I'm going to, this fast food place with my friends, and it's like, okay, well, see you later.
Sunrise, sunset.
Yes.
Oh, dear. Yeah, my kids never go out by themselves with friends. We just do everything together.
Right.
I have lately been going out places with friends. Well, one friend, one friend periodically says, I'm coming, we're going to go to lunch. And so...
And you have no choice.
It's thrilling, I tell you. It's thrilling. Just me and another person.
Very nice.
And we don't. I went to my regular doctor for a checkup, and afterwards I had to make an appointment out in his desk area there for a mammogram, and they were throwing out days that I could do it, and they suggested one day, and I said yes. And I said, oh, no, wait. My friend said she was going to come and go to lunch with me that day. Let me see. What would I rather do? Lunch with a friend. Mammogram. Lunch with a friend. Mammogram. And so the girls behind the desk laughed, and one of them said, I would rather have some mimosas. I'm thinking to myself, as I laugh, we don't do mimosas. We go to fast food restaurants. And I have diet soda, which I hardly ever have.
Get the kids' meal.
Yes. Chick-fil-A, I get the kids' meal. So it's like I'm on a whole different level of lunch than her, but that's okay. She gets what I'm saying.
Right.
So, but mostly it's us four. It's a foursome. All of us.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
I never had that sending kids away for really anything except Special Olympics weekend. We send them off on the bus, and then we drive to where they are, and then we spend time with them.
Right.
Clingy, no. Me, no.
Mm-mm.
No.
Never.
They could have social lives, and never mind that if my son gets together with his friends, all the moms go with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's social time for the moms, too.
That's right. It is. It totally is. We've been trying to figure out a time to go visit my son's buddy at his work, which is at Burger King. Mm-hmm. And it just never works out. We can't. We keep one or the other of us has a problem that we can't do it. But
right.
That was going to be our whole family and his whole family all going together for something. So This is the life we live. It's fine. I'm fine.
You have that many people. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Trying to coordinate.
But I never have to sing Sunrise, Sunset because everything continues the same. I suppose the swiftly fly the years, but all exactly the same.
Right.
Nobody's getting on a boat to America.
No.
So nobody's going to Siberia. We're just all keeping on. And watching streaming shows.
Yeah. Only Murders in the Building is back. So we are back with it for season 3. We really enjoyed the first 2, I'd say.
Yes. Yeah.
And now it's back with a continuing look at the theater, because the inciting action is this play that Oliver is producing or directing on Broadway with Paul Rudd starring, who is having so much fun with this.
Yes, he really is. He's an enjoyable actor to watch.
Yes. So we watched the first 2. Those were the first 2 that dropped. Episode 1, The Show Must... ... And then episode 2, The Beat Goes On. Not the show must go on, but the beat. The beat goes on, because it's all about heartbeats.
Yes.
So yeah, in the first episode, we get the beginning that we had gotten at the end of season 2, where Paul Rudd's character drops dead on stage. But then we find out in episode 1, oh no, he didn't actually die. He somehow came back to life. But then he conveniently did die after all, and it was in the Arconia, which is important because the name of the show is Only Murders in the Building.
Yes.
So they couldn't do anything about it if he had died on the stage.
Right. He conveniently
fell down an elevator
so
shaft.
He could be pushed down the elevator shaft.
Right.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. And for all those who are saying, dang, Paul Rudd dies right away. I was looking forward to a whole season of him. And then, oh, good, he's back. Excellent. And, oh, no, he died again. No, he's going to be in this thing all through.
Yes.
Between flashbacks and talking to Mabel.
Right. As Mabel said, I haven't talked to a dead person since Tim Kono.
That's right. We missed that.
That was back in season 1.
Right. Yeah, and I remember back in season 1 thinking, boy, this is cool. I hope this goes on through the whole season. And I think it only happened like once.
With her talking to
her all through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully Paul Rudd's character, whose name I can't remember. Ben. Hopefully something. Ben will not be a stranger and will keep girl-a-copping with her throughout. That was a sweet story she told about how meaningful the show was to her. Which makes it less like, we thought you were above this sort of fangirling, Mabel, but it was meaningful to her.
Right. She watched it not with her mom, but alongside her mom.
Yes, in separate rooms, but the most togetherness they had was laughing at the same jokes.
Right.
That was very sweet. She's a very sad character, really.
Yeah.
Very bad for Mabel most of the time.
Right. Yeah. And in this second episode, she's talking about how, she doesn't have a job. And her aunt has sold the apartment, so she's going to have to move out.
Her unseen aunt. Are we ever going to see this aunt? Have we ever seen this aunt?
We have never seen her, and
what surprise guest star is going to play that aunt at some point?
Yeah, that's what they were speculating about on Extra Hot Great.
Yeah, I purposely didn't listen to that episode before I watched it, but I saw a little snippet by Alan Sepinwall where I believed he said the first season really combined mystery and comedy and the personalities of these characters really well. Season 2 was missing a good mystery, and season 3 is missing the comedy. So, I don't know. 2 episodes in, it doesn't seem significantly different.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean, there's definitely goofy moments, I mean, we haven't even talked about Meryl Streep playing the nanny she's
Delightful.
Sort of a not successful actor that's signed on to play a nanny in Oliver's play.
Right.
And at the table read, she tries giving the nanny all these accents, which was a very funny nod to the Meryl Streepness of it. So.
It was nice that they did a lot of pre-show publicity about Meryl Streep wearing braids, so that when you saw the little girl in braids in the flashback, you knew who it was.
Right.
But delightful to have her, and I look forward to her having a very entertaining part here.
Yes. And who else? We have a new police officer.
Yeah.
We meet.
That's a bummer. I kind of liked the old one, but
yeah, maybe she'll come
she's
back.
off doing something. She's doing other good work, both the character and the actress.
Right. And then there's the, we still have the neighbors. We have Uma, who's Jackie Hoffman, right?
Yes.
Who's the crabby one, who was Bunny's friend. And then we have Andrea Martin returning as Steve Martin's
too briefly, but hopefully
love
she'll
interest.
Be more. Yes.
And then we have some of the actors who are also in the play. Like Ashley Park is playing one of them.
Yeah.
And
also,
a couple other
she was
people.
the extra one in Girls 5 Eva, right?
I think so.
The one who died, supposedly.
I think so. Do we have that on our document anywhere?
We'll cut this out if that's not true.
We don't.
So if you're hearing this, it was her.
All right. Well, I'm going to check real fast. So yeah. It's been
various people I didn't keep track of very well, but I'm sure they will have their moments in the spotlight so that I will know who they are.
Right.
And also a creepy guy who claimed to be...
you are
she was.
We are right about
what was her name in Girls 5 Eva?
Her name was Ashley.
Ashley, conveniently. It's probably why I remembered it.
Yes.
But, let's see. So in the first one, it was just mostly about the actor dying, the show dying, the actor coming back, the show maybe being revived, the actor dying again, and the show dying again, and setting up the characters and their mostly dislike for one another.
Yes.
So,
and we got more of that. More of that in the second one too, as in terms of like, why is it that Charles, Steve Martin's character, and Paul Rudd's character hated each other?
Yes.
Turned out that Charles got Ben fired from Brazos when Ben was 8 years old.
Now Ben was going to make this miserable for him, as, maybe he deserved. So.
Right.
But,
he said, I was 8 years old and I was supporting my mother and my brother. Okay.
Aw.
Poor kid.
Yeah. Makes his mostly insufferable adult self a little more sympathetic.
Right.
So, this was the second one was mostly about sort of establishing, an immediate suspect, which is a guy who claimed to be Ben's security, but was in fact a crazed fan who chained up Charles and Mabel in the basement. But fortunately, the police came in time. Right. I thought that he was the replacement detective was going to say that the former detective placed a tracer on them somehow.
Right?
She put something on your phone, so we always know where you are. But no.
Yeah, we don't know how the police were summoned.
Well, they said they were after this guy. They've been after this guy, so I think they were just trying to get him. And just gratuitously saved them from fire, I guess. Wasn't he, waving a...
He did have a little tiny chef's blowtorch that he was using.
But, of course, as Mabel surmises, it's never the guy from the second episode. It's not going to be him. There's so much more interesting... So many more interesting suspects.
Right.
And we'd like this to run a while because we get paid by the episode, so no, can't be that.
Yes.
Oliver has a heart attack and is supposed to stay away from all stressful situations, which... are there anything but stressful situations? He would have to go off to an island somewhere, and even there, he would find something to be stressed about.
Well, because he has no money to pay for it.
That's right. So he's trying to get his show revived. He has a Bob Fosse moment, and decides he's going to make
vision.
Yes, he's going to make this very terrible play into a musical.
That'll go well.
Are you now? That doesn't. Your producer is buying that, is she?
Right.
Alrighty then. But if he will be able to revive it as he was revived, we shall see. Right. But seems like a funny idea that will no doubt provide lots of entertainment.
Yes, absolutely.
And that is the start of yet another season of this usually entertaining program.
Yes. We're glad that it's back.
Yes.
The after party this week,
Speaking of usually
less entertaining. Yes, this was Danner's Fire, which was episode 6, and it was, somewhat of a break from the main mystery to go get some more backstory about Danner, and it was
completely unnecessary.
Yeah, it really
advanced our plot, not a whit.
No.
And, I get that they thought, hey, you know what would be funny? Let's do a parody of an erotic thriller. I get that. And they did do a funny job of it. But, okay, throw a standalone episode in the middle of your thing, I guess. But I was so relating to Anik, as he kept saying, that's enough, no more detail, that's okay,
I got it.
I'm fine, no more. I was just like, could I fast forward through this? I could fast forward through this, right? They're both attractive people. You go, Tiffany Haddish and Michael Ealy, and I know that you're doing this for humor, but,
yeah.
Can we get back to that mystery? There's a dead guy. I'm pretty sure there's a dead guy somewhere.
Right. He's still hanging out in the... We didn't see Sebastian, at all in this episode.
No. We saw... I guess we saw most everybody else. Yes, because
briefly.
The film noir guy poisoned himself with the plant that was growing, made some tea out of it to see what would happen if you just took a little bit, took maybe a little bit more than he intended to, and was a little out of his mind for a while.
Yeah.
But Uncle Ulysses solved the problem with Dutch babies, so we're good.
I can be, my problems could usually be solved with a nice Dutch baby.
I don't know if I would have known what that was had I not been editing recipes for it for a while.
Just like a really great pancake.
Big, fat, fluffy pancake.
Big, fluffy pancake.
So that kept them occupied for a while. And then Zoe had to go see if there was any tea in Edgar's room. And there was!
Yes.
But just as she's discovering it, Elizabeth Perkins, whose character's name I should probably be using instead. Isabel comes to the door, and so Zoe has to hide the tea and sneak out.
So we know that that's gonna come back.
Sum total of the plot development on the mystery in this episode of the After Party.
Yeah, pretty much.
The rest was all, do not get so involved in something that you overlook a clue. So.
Right.
That you overlook the person who is actually the culprit, which she could have just had a brief story. Hey, you know what? I was investigating this thing. I got too close to somebody, and then I missed the actual perpetrator. So let's move on. Who are we talking to today?
Right.
I'm glad you guys had a good time there making that episode. And I will look forward to the next one, which is actually about something. Yay.
Yes. The next one is Ulysses.
Yay!
So,
which this
John
one,
Cho.
We shouldn't have to wait an extra week for that, but okay. All right, you have your fun. And I will look forward to the resumption of the actual thread of this show this season.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yeah.
What else can we say? I don't know.
I don't think there's anything else other than that was 45 minutes of our lives. We'll never get. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Follow your artistic vision, just like Oliver. And
that's right.
We will just say no more.
Yeah. And the next episode of Only Murders in the Building will be the third one, Grab Your Hankies.
Would those be the designer hankies that Ben gave everybody? I bet they are. Who's missing one? Gave it to somebody because what kind of crap is this? Do I have to hold on to this? Is this important? You do, or you are a suspect. So, Catherine, what'd you find at the library this week?
Okay, this is a visual. So,
Does it involve fire or any kinky sex of any sort?
Definitely no kinky sex. This is a children's book, but it is
These
the story.
Days you cannot be too sure.
Yes, it is the story of a fire hydrant.
Oh.
So, yes, there is...
our episode, if we were still naming
fire.
episodes.
The book is just called Lou, Lou, and Lou is a fire hydrant. And he is so cute. This, like I said, the visuals are what sold me on this. But also it's very funny because it's the story of how, basically Lou's like, well, I guess my job is to be the toilet for the dogs in the neighborhood. That is Lou's lot in life, is that he gets peed on a lot. But he does, he does get the chance to actually help in a fire. So
you go.
But yeah. It's just another one of those, like, you can't believe how many children's books there are and how many, like, anthropomorphic characters there are. And I really didn't know that there was one that was a fire hydrant, but there is. So his name is Lou, and he is extremely adorable. So,
aw, Lou.
That is what I'm calling out this week from my library finds.
Promotional opportunity. They should make little Lou things that you put in the toilet, and for kids who are learning to pee, for particularly little boys who are learning to pee, to hit the target.
Clever. Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
I like it.
Diapers also, possibly. But no, it's the kid you want to start using the toilet. And look, you can pee on Lou just like all the doggies.
Right, just like all the puppies did in the book. There we go.
Let's see how you do, honey.
I think this is a really good marketing opportunity. They should be.
Yeah, we'll give them that for free.
You.
Poor Very Lou. Nice. Let's just find ways to humiliate him even more.
He's just adorable, though.
Every now and then, it could come with the pack of toilet targets could come with a little like squeeze toy that you can fill up with water. So every now and then, Lou gets to put out a birthday candle.
Oh, there we go.
So just to give him some self-respect.
Absolutely.
And let's see how much self-respect we have after we spin back through our archives to see what we were talking about 1 year ago, 2 years ago, and 5 years ago this week. Oh. Y'all, our archives are deep. Feel free to just play one episode and then just keep listening to episodes and then just turn the volume down and go about your business, but let the episodes play because it'll help our stats. Mm-hmm. Anyway, 1 year ago today, we were talking about a viral video of a parent being proud of their kid. Do you remember this at all?
Well, I don't remember what the specifics were of the video. Mm-hmm. I think it was something with a Little League game or something. Yeah. But the main point we were making is like, do you have to like just have your video going all the time so that you don't miss these things? Because I think I talked about on that episode, like how we were at a banquet and my daughter won an award and, they built it all up talking about who the person was and what they had done. And then they revealed that it was her. Yes. So I wasn't videoing it.
Yes.
So.
And I had the same situation where 3/4 through a speech, I realized, hey, are they talking about my kid?
Right.
And then it was like, she wasn't listening either because it was an award banquet. She never gets awards. She just figured it was, And then we were both going, wait a minute, run that back.
Say that again, please.
Do you have that written down somewhere that you could give us?
Right.
We don't want to say we were ignoring you, but you do have to really.
So at my son's theater workshop, the director did say a few words about all the seniors, and I did get my camera, and I knew she would, so I did. I think I missed the first few seconds, but I did get her little speech. So
if teachers want to like go viral and stuff, they need to sort of say, psst, 20 minutes into this thing, I'm going to say something nice about your kid.
Right.
Or have an assistant come and tap you on the shoulder and say, is your phone on?
Now's the time.
This will not be hard to do.
Mm-mm.
But they think we're listening the whole time when it has nothing to do with our kids. Oh, well. Yeah, I was, when my kids went to the Special Olympics this past year, it was the first time my daughter ever competed. And I wasn't sure how she was going to do. It was just going to be fun. She was nervous about being away from home, and we were more focused on that. And it's like, whatever she does, it's fine. She wasn't really invested in getting the gold medals or anything. But the first time she ran, oh my goodness, she just sped away from the pack and took the gold medal. And it was thrilling to see. And fortunately, one of the coaches had videotaped it, and she sent me the video, and you just watch it and go, oh my gosh,
right.
Look at her.
Look at her run.
It was so exciting. I mean, I don't care one way or the other how they do either. I just want them to have fun and be good sports and, have this weekend slightly away from us.
Right.
But, it's fun to see your kid do really good too.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't expect it. The problem is when you expect it and then you're constantly, oh my gosh, what if they don't do well? What if they don't do well?
Yeah.
But so it's better to just be, wow, she can run. Look at that.
Right. Yeah, my son sang a solo, and I was definitely nervous about that. But he did really well.
Good. We're proud.
Yes.
And I'm sure they're proud of us talking about about them here on our podcast. My mom has a podcast. I'm so proud of her.
Yes. They'd rather we go reminiscing about our college days.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the dark ages.
Right. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Every time I hear about kids going to college and the things they're having in their rooms and the things they're packing for and how rudimentary things were.
Right.
And now they have little mini condos with bathrooms. And does your son have a bathroom in his room? Do your kids have bathrooms in their room, or do they have to share?
My daughter had to share with just 2 other people. My son will have a very traditional, walk down the hall in your flip-flops.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering if that was still a thing.
Yeah.
Because that was the way it was when I was in the dorm.
Right.
And then there was a common room for watching TV. So everybody would watch TV together. At some point, my roommate and I did say, forget this, we're getting our own TV. And we did get a little black and white, I think.
Right.
But that was a thing that you just went and watched with other people. Does anybody ever do that anymore?
Yeah. I mean, it seems to me like kids mostly watch stuff on their laptop,
Yes.
But in the parent group, they are talking about TVs, where are we going to put it? Jeez. And my son's roommate is bringing a TV, so...
Wow.
I don't know.
Now, I say we did get a TV in our room so we could watch our soap operas, but there was also something fun about communal viewing. I remember one time we were watching the movie Play Misty for Me with, what was it, Clint Eastwood and Jessica Walter, I think. And there was a plot point in the mystery in that movie that hinges on I think, Annabelle Lee by Poe. And the English major, I got it. And I'm like, I know who it is. Ah! And they're all looking at me, how? How could you possibly know? It's like, I have it in English class. Ah!
Right.
So that was very exciting. And it made me feel really, really good about myself and my major and my reading habits. But, and you don't get that if you're sitting at home watching it on your lap, it's like, wow, I feel smart. But you don't get an audience, Yeah. You can have other people say, wow, English majors know things.
Right. Yeah, I think it's more fun to watch.
Yeah.
Communally.
Right. Some things. And you want to be able to do both, though, is the thing. So, but unfortunately, the ability to have it in your own room has precluded nobody's going to go down to the common room and watch something now.
Yeah.
There's not even a common room or a TV.
Well, I think there's common rooms, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know about TVs in them. So.
Only the kids whose parents won't buy them a TV go there. It's the TV watching slum.
Right.
Well, we also, 5 years ago, talked about the kid activities we enjoyed the most. Meaning the things that our kids were involved in that we didn't hate going with. Right. Which, as I've talked about how involved I got in my daughter's marching band experience, which maybe she had because I always wanted to be in the marching band and I couldn't. So possible that's why I pushed her in that direction. Who knows? Yeah. But of things that they're doing now... I mean, you enjoy seeing your son in his theatrical stuff.
Yeah, and I think at the time that we talked about this, it wasn't a big part of what he was doing. It became
Was he singing
more. It was more of a high school. Well, he was playing hockey, and
Oh yeah, and losing
that took up
at some point.
Yes, and the hockey took a lot of time. Yeah. So, the theater stuff, there's a lot less, parent involvement, right. Especially between their age and the fact that, they have kids doing a lot of the, there's crew
right
doing a lot of this stuff. I mean, he was in show choir, and we would go to the show choir competitions, and some of the choirs would have like a full-on stage crew of mostly parents, mostly dads, who would be like hauling stuff on and off the stage.
Wow.
And our choir didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Our director was like, "No, that's not how we do it." She didn't do like big props and sets and stuff. But yeah,
a lot of them you at a competitive disadvantage.
Not necessarily. I mean,
because some judges rolled their eyes as well.
I think so. It's hard to say. But I mean, because like we did, because it's like, well, the kids aren't doing it.
Yes.
It's the parents who are
Tell
doing
which
it.
ones have been watching too much Glee. Stop it.
So, and they'd have their like dad crew t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
So they were into it.
That's a problem. The kids are like, can I just sing? Can my dad get off the stage, please?
Right.
Yeah. Well.
So, I mean, there was, for parents, I, of course, had to get myself involved in the food. Like, just...
Oh, yeah.
Once
you were
that
the
became...
catering manager for a long time,
I was the catering person for the musicals and stuff, we would feed them, during the big rehearsal week, the last week, we would have meals. But there was always a little bit of, like, some of the adults involved, like teachers,
right,
didn't want, they didn't want food anywhere backstage or in the lobby or like there was nowhere to feed them. And we're like, they have to eat. Like, they're not going to go from lunch until like 10 p.m.
Right.
They have to eat something. Like, you have to... Because they have a green room, but it's too small, and then they use that to deal with all the mics, so of course they don't want any food by the mics, and blah, blah, blah. So now they're moving into a new school, so it's going to be somebody else's problem, so good luck with that, because I'm sure they didn't build a space for...
Just a little cafeteria is all you need, right? Just a little extra cafeteria there behind the stage.
And we would take over the cafeteria whenever we could at the old school. But I don't know what the layout is like on the new school. And at the old school, for whatever reason, there was a door between, like, so that you could very easily access from the lobby of the auditorium area. You could just cross a small hallway, and then there was a door into the cafeteria. And last summer, they walled in that door.
Aw.
I have no idea why. So then you had to go all the way around to get into the room. And I still have no idea why they did that. And I don't know what it's going to be like in the new building. I have no idea. So good luck to them all.
Yes.
Is what I say.
Yeah.
So...
You haven't done your visit to the school yet, to the new school? Check it out?
No. There's a big open house actually tomorrow, but I think I'm going to skip it. And because there's a few days later in the week where we can go pick up the yearbook.
So that's when you'll go see it.
I figured that would be a fine time to see it instead of
you don't want to be
making a special trip.
Yeah. Sure, I'll see it, but I don't really care. I'm not really just going to go over there just to see it. Ooh, look at that.
Right. But they're already like, there will be shuttle buses from the old school to the new school because there's not enough parking. What are you doing? Oh my God.
Well,
and there's
Jeez.
Yeah. And there's like one way in only. Like,
oh, goodness.
yeah. So it's
You would think you would learn from the old school what you need in the new school. But no.
You would.
Parking is an important thing with high school, especially.
Yep. So.
They don't learn,
do
they?
They don't. And the old school, at least some people could walk there, like, depending on where you lived. The new one, there's, like, nobody that can really walk there.
Yeah.
Unless there's one neighborhood that's kind of close enough, but they would have to cross a really busy street.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to
It's treacherous.
So.
My kids were close enough to walk and did walk, but in order to get to the school building, they had to cross the road through the parking lot that people are speeding down in order to get their kids to school in time. And it was treacherous. I thought they have a police officer who stands out the corner by our house yelling at people because there's so much traffic getting in. Most people drive.
Yeah.
And so it's like even the kids who are walking are considered like a nuisance who are slowing cars down.
Yeah.
It's like, we could get in our car next door and drive here, and then you would be slower.
Worse.
Yes. Right. The fact that no child has ever been hit crossing this road through the parking lot is amazing to me because they are like, they turn the corner and they hit the accelerator. It's like,
right. And also there's not just parents, there's also new drivers, right?
Yes, there's new drivers and there's teachers and there's I've mentioned to the administration a few times, but it's like, you can't have a crossing guard for high schoolers. High schoolers do not want a crossing guard.
Right.
But a police officer could stand there probably. I would walk my son to school in high school just because I did not want him to be a pancake in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So really, these are the things that somebody should figure out. You know, it'd be nice, a little raised walkway over the road. How hard would that be?
No,
a little bridge.
That could be someone's Eagle Scout project.
That's right. It wouldn't be hard. It's a narrow road. It's just, it could actually go up and into the second floor of the school. It'd be great. But
a real time saver.
A real time saver. And I bet that your new school would benefit from that as well. But not going to happen.
No.
They're not thinking.
But not my problem.
Not your problem. Yay!
Yahoo!
But your problem is getting us out of this podcast episode.
Okay, I'll do that. That's easily
You have
solved.
a solution for this?
I do. I'm just going to say that's it for the Parenting Roundabout Weekly Roundup. You can find all our episodes on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. You can also talk to us on our Facebook page, on Instagram, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And please visit our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/mamitude, where you can find links to a lot of the things we've talked about over the years. We'll see you back here next Tuesday. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.